Tagore's Nobel acceptance speech, was it merely a thank you for the award, or was there more to it? Did he just talk about Gitanjali and its spirituality, or did he reveal something? Why are we talking about it today? What's the relevance, and what can we learn from it? This great figure inspired multiple generations of Indians. He was a mentor to Gandhi, the father of our nation. We, as builders of this country, builders of the future, need his perspective. We need his understanding. All this and much more at the other end of the intro. Stay with us. Okay, let's piece this together. The acceptance speech was read on December 10th, 1913. Tagore sent this as a telegram, and it was read out in front of a packed audience at the Nobel banquet in Stockholm, Sweden, the home of the Nobel. There were 5 key things he talked about. The first part of his speech focuses on a deep seclusion where he found his creativity. He says, "The wild ducks, which came during the time of autumn from the Himalayan lakes, were my only living companion. And in that solitude I seemed to have drunk in the open space like wine overflowing with sunshine, and the murmur of the rivers used to speak to me and tell me the secrets of nature." Tagore was a naturalist to the core. This comes forth in all of his writing as well as the way he went about his daily life. He puts nature on a spiritual pedestal in Gitanjali. He is amazed by it and he discovers its myriad secrets through his spiritualism. It clearly is his greatest motivator. The man is immersed in nature. This is how he spends much of his young life, away from the crowds, soaking in everything Mother Earth has to offer and writing poetry. Educational reform. He then talks about a time where he felt this incredible urge to end the seclusion and come out, to celebrate and offer his service to the community, to work with fellow human beings and help with their deepest problems. He says that the one work which came to my mind was to teach children. This is the start of his school, which eventually became Vishwa Bharati University at Shantiniketan. One of the later year students of this place is Amartya Sen, another Nobel laureate. In an interview, Sen reflected about the place being a rather free environment, high quality but not forceful. Students were often allowed the time to figure out what they wanted to learn and how much. Tagore reflects in his speech, "I myself had suffered and went through the machine of education which crushes the joy and freedom of life. And this was my objective, to give freedom and joy." The third and perhaps the most important part of the speech is about this idea of East meeting West. Tagore was the first non-European to win the prize for literature, and he refused to accept the prize as an individual. He says that it's the East in me which gave to the West. I came in that very moment when the West had turned her face again to the East and was seeking for some nourishment. He clearly sees this moment and recognition that the West is waking up to the East. He sees this as some sort of a union, the breaking of barriers and coming together of all races. Remember, this is still the age of imperialism and pre-World War I. This is perhaps one of the earliest examples of emerging internationalism. He says, "I'm glad that I have done some work to give expression to this great age when the East and West are coming together. They are proceeding towards each other. They are coming to meet each other, to build up a new civilization and a great culture." Tagore picks his theme of coming together of all races and introduces the idea of India in an emphatic way. He says, "I do not think the spirit of India is to reject anything, any race or any culture. The spirit of India is to unite. It is therefore there to unite all races. He continues, we have not been given the unity of races. Our problem is the problem of all humanity. We must go deeper down and find the spiritual bond that unites all races. This is where Tagore and Gandhi really connected, both being huge proponents of social justice for all religions, and saw this as a real impediment to India's success as a nation. He ends his speech with an invitation to the entire West to come and visit Vishwabharati. He welcomes Western students to join in so that the university becomes a vibrant place for education and be made into a living representative of the undivided humanity of the world. In the name of unity of humans, and in the name of love, and in the name of God, I ask you to come. I invite you. Those were the last few words of his speech. There is so much to learn from this great man. He was our earliest environmentalist, earliest globalist, earliest experimenters in education, music, art, poetry, the list is endless. This was his message. It inspires us to get going and build this nation that our founding fathers lived their lives for. Let us make it worthwhile. Let us make them proud.